Does it sound better?
Yeah, sounds good. Stream starting? Alright, we're live. What's up, geniuses? Welcome to another podcast. And today, I'm here with Mr. Bylertrown. You all know him. And so today, this is a live stream podcast instead of a standard just video podcast because that would be too dumb to do. So, I have up here the Apple website, and we're going to talk about how bad Apple really is. So, first, let's just take a look down the. We're basically going to give Apple's website just a huge review. So, on the front page, it says iPhone 11 Pro, Pro Cameras, Pro Display, Pro Performance. And I feel like the whole theme with the 11 Pro is three. Like, it has three cameras, there's three letters in Pro, and right on the front of Apple's page it says Pro Cameras, Pro Display, Pro Performance, which is three statements. Do you think that, Tyler?
Yes.
And then the iPhone 11 non-Pro, the entire theme with the phone is two. Like, you have two cameras, there's two numbers in 11. Um,
And you got that fidget spinner camera.
well, that's for the 11 Pro, not the standard 11. But yeah, so that's it. Kind of is associating Apple's phones with numbers that they aren't uh, like called. So, and they're also advertising their 4 meters water resistance here because the phone is all like in water or whatever. But anyway, going down, you have the always on Retina display Apple Watch, Apple TV Plus, AirPods. You still they have emojis now for engravings on AirPods. Did you know that?
Yeah, I did the website earlier.
Oh, personalize it, of course. These are not the Apple emojis. They're like different.
You can make your own custom engravings.
Text. Let's see. Byler Trown is bad. That's a perfect one. Unicorn. Okay, that's dumb. Who would pay? How much is it? Like, oh, free engraving. Oh wow, that's cool. Okay, anyways, um, let's take a look at their Apple Watches because I heard that they're very expensive. So first off, a band for the Apple Watch is $50 for just a silicone band. That's way overpriced, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's way too much. Let's see. Apple Watch Series 5. We're gonna see how much we can max it out here. So go under buy, choose the latest style. Right, 500, 800, 500, 800. Create your style. How about this? Get started. Okay, so 44 millimeter. That can get more expensive. Okay, so then the case, I'm gonna choose all the way up here, 750, 850, 850, 1350. That's way too much money for an Apple Watch. Okay, well, anyways, going on. Performance loop, rainbow loop. Oh, Pride Edition Sport loop. Leather loop. Alright, $1,400 for an Apple Watch. That's way too much. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. $1,750 for an Apple Watch. That's too much. Alright, anyways. Let's see Samsung. So I heard they just had their event. Their Samsung Unpacked, which they released the Galaxy S20, the S20 Plus, and then the
They didn't release it, they unveiled it.
or unveiled, that's what I meant, and then the S20 Ultra. And also along with the Galaxy Buds Plus and the Galaxy Z Flip, which I'll see here. They say on their website that it's a glass display, but Jerry Rig Everything, he's a YouTube channel who durability tests things. He tested it, and it was a plastic display, not glass, like they said. So, yeah. Alright, let's see if we can option this up at all. So, no trade-in credit. $1,400 for the S20 Ultra 5G. Just get it unlocked. 512 gigs memory. Cosmic Black and Cosmic Gray. Don't really see a difference there. Alright, continue. Oops. Go back. So that's like $1,500 for a phone. That's dumb. Would you pay $1,500 for a phone?
No.
Not notify me.
For a phone, no.
Let's see. Refrigerators. Let's see how much the refrigerators cost. That's a stupid thing.
Probably less than the phones.
Yeah, the phones are probably more expensive than the refrigerators. Okay, let's see. 3-door French door. 4-door French door. 4-door flex. All three of those have a screen on it. Let's see. 4-door flex, we'll see. So, 4-door flex. Oh my. Alright, let's see. So. Nope. Okay, so. 22 cubic foot, which is a lot for a refrigerator. Family Hub counter depth 4-door flex refrigerator stainless steel. That's a long name, isn't it? For a refrigerator. And it has a TV built into the refrigerator.
I don't see Apple making TVs with for refrigerators with TVs in them.
Yeah. Do you think Apple's gonna come out with a folding phone this year?
No.
In September? I feel like they'll probably say something about like the concept of it, but not say anything about like an Apple folding.
They're not gonna announce it.
Well, it would probably, because Apple never announces phones that aren't like in their line. Like they're not like the iPhone 11, 10, like they're not
12.
in that number. So it's not like Samsung where they have different phones. Like it's not just the Galaxy line, it's the Samsung A20, which has a flipping camera. The Samsung Z Flip isn't, or the Galaxy Z Flip, it's in the Galaxy line, but it's not following the numbers like S8, S9, S10, S20, and they skipped like 10 numbers there, going from S10 to S20. But, oh, I just thought of this. Maybe they did S20 because it's 2020.
Yeah, you just realized that now?
Yeah. I saw 2020 on their website, and I thought that that's probably why they did that. So, let's see their TVs. Do they have, like, 8K TVs?
Yeah.
Oh! They have frame TVs? Like, what? 65-inch. Oh, they don't have a price for that. Oh, no, they do. Okay, so, $1,800 for a 65-inch QLED Smart 4K TV. Can be disguised as a picture frame. That's dumb. Like, TVs are already so common. Like, I get a while ago you didn't want this huge, big, boxy TV, so it would look cleaner if you had, like, a picture. But nowadays, everyone has a TV, so your house would look weird if it didn't have a TV. Like, you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
And they have 5G, which Austin Evans did a video about it, and the way that they have their 5G is not that much of a difference compared to 4G LTE until 5G becomes a little more improved, because there's two different types of 5G. There's one that you can get
The
like,
good and the bad.
yeah, there's the good one and the bad one. So, or they're both good and both bad. So they have the standard 5G, which I forget the name of them. They're really confusing. But you can get up to like 90 to 100 megabits per second, which is a little over the 5G E speeds that you can get in bigger cities. Like with my iPhone 11, I can get 5G in like Pittsburgh or Cleveland area, and with that I get about 70 to 80 megabits per second download speeds, and with the base 5G you get like 90 to 100 about, I think. And so you still get like the same service as 4G. Like you can still go as far from the um, antennas and towers, but with the higher level 5G, it's like you turn the like you get that's the one where you get 2 to 3 gigabits a second, which is insanely fast. Like for Wi-Fi is super fast, but for a network, like it's just a crazy speed. But it comes at a cost, and that service, you could literally turn the corner and no longer get service. So with the S20, the base
Yeah,
S20.
it's powerful, but it isn't a consistent powerful.
Yeah, so with the base S20, you get the, like, what would be ideal is if you get like the best of both worlds. So you get like both in a phone. So whenever you're in range of the faster 5G, you get the fast 5G, but then whenever you get out, you get the standard 5G. So what Samsung did was the base S20 has the standard 5G, like the lower end 5G, and then the S20 Plus has both 5G, like the base 5G and the faster 5G, and then the S20 Ultra has both again. So the S20 is basically like an iPhone 11. The S20 Plus and S20 Ultra are like the iPhone 11 Pro. So, sort of how they design their flagships this year is definitely just like Apple. And last year too, what Apple did um, was like they released the 10 or the 10s, the 10s Max, which were their flagships, and then they had a 10R, which was also basically a flagship, but it was more like a base level phone, so it was like the $700. So yeah. What was I gonna look at? Oh yeah. So, what are your predictions, Tyler, for the iPhone 12? Like, what do you think is going to happen?
Hopefully, it has some hardware advancements and is decently affordable.
Yeah, because they were like for the past 3 or so years, they've been sticking with just like 4 gigs of RAM in their phones, and that's it.
Yeah, but
And
Samsung's out here with like 16
yeah, so
in their
like you can get the
S20s.
S20 Ultra with 16 gigs of um,
LDDR5, LPDDR5.
yeah. So I think that it's really not going to be as good as Samsung.
It's going to be one really smooth Android to run.
Which I feel like Apple's going to release a folding phone, but it's like I said before, it's just going to be a concept, and it's not going to be like the actual phone. Or, you know what they could do? They could release a line of phones. They'll have like sort of how they've done it last year and the year before with the XR and 11. They'll have the iPhone 12. What they might even do 11S's. I just thought of that. Because they've always done like an S model after that. Like after, like they had the 10 and then they made the 10S the year after. But I feel like it's going to be the 12 because everyone is saying that. So I feel like it's going to be the the iPhone 12, which is just going to be a standard phone, it's probably going to have 3 cameras like the wide, the ultra wide, and the telephoto like the 11 Pro has now, and it's probably going to be raised to $800 like the Samsung S20 is, but it should have hardware advancements over the um, 11 and
Hopefully.
XR, because the 11 and XR are the same exact phones except a few changes. One, the 11 has the A13 processor, which is like a tiny bit better than the A12 Bionic or whatever it's called.
Better battery.
Yeah, better battery and cameras, obviously. But those are the only differences. The sizes are the same, same Face ID generation.
And let's be
So
real,
it's,
who's really gonna use their freaking phone camera?
well, yeah, see, this is the thing, like, over the X and the XS, they say it has like a revolutionary camera over the X, and like just with the XS, it's no difference with how the cameras perform. No one's gonna notice it except for like the 11 and stuff. It's a huge difference over the XS because it has like the ultra wide and telephoto. But yeah, but still, I don't use my ultra wide much. Like I use it a few times, and there's not really been any times where it's actually helped. It just makes pictures look all distorted and really funny. So
Like Mac OS photo booth.
yeah,
Kind of.
yeah. So yeah, so I think they're gonna have 4 phones this year for my predictions, but this is probably not gonna be right whatsoever. Um, but they're gonna have the iPhone 12. They're gonna have, and they've been going with Pro since they released the um, iPhone 11 Pro. They have the iPhone Pro, Mac Pro, AirPods Pro. Probably gonna make an Apple Watch Pro this year, like an Apple Watch Series 6, and then an Apple Watch Series 6 Pro. That's way bigger.
Have
Has
they made Apple Watch Pros?
no. It's hard to believe they actually haven't yet.
What
But
about the iPhone Pro?
yeah, the iPhone 11 Pro. That's what started it all. But we're probably going to be an Apple TV Pro. They already have an iPad Pro. But yeah. So
Don't
I
you go
think we're going to
for Apple TV Plus? Don't you need to like buy the brick for it?
yeah, well, like I have a Roku TV, and whenever you get a new
Same
Apple
here.
device, you have 3 months free trial of Apple TV Plus. And so because my family, we all got 4 iPhone 11s. We didn't just know this until like a month ago. We're basically going to get 12 months free of Apple TV Plus. But it's still not like as good as like YouTube TV, for example, because that's what like I use. We have like we don't have cable, we use YouTube TV, so it has like live channel, local channels, like channel 4 or whatever. So it's much better than cable. But yeah, what I think Apple's going to do is they're going to have an iPhone 12, an iPhone 12 Pro, or no, they're going to have like 8 phones actually. They're going to have, or each of the phones are going to have another variant that's the same, but it's a 5G version. So I think they're going to have the 12 with the 5G version, the 12 Pro, and then the 12 Plus. But then the fourth phone I think is going to be a folding Apple phone, but I'm not really sure on how they're going to do it because how Samsung has made 2 folding phones. They made the Samsung Galaxy Fold.
That one wasn't that well.
No, it didn't
It
do
didn't do
great
that well.
at all, but it really started the entire
Thought of making an actual like folding phone to make
yeah,
it
it
better.
started the whole trend of making folding phones and everything. So it's pretty crazy of what it like. It's not a great phone itself, but what it started now is crazy. And I bet in like 3 or 4 years, Samsung's probably only going to be rolling out folding phones. We're no longer going to have normal phones that are flat. But what I think Apple is going to do is probably make an iPad that folds like the Samsung Galaxy, the first folding Samsung phone did. So it folded like a hot dog, not like a hamburger like it does now. So what I think they're going to do is make an iPad folding or make a folding iPhone. But what Apple always does is make different operating systems for different devices. So they're probably going to make a folding phone and have an entirely different operating system, because like what they did with iPad last year is instead of it just having normal iOS 13, they changed it to iPad OS. So like Mac has Mac OS, now it's iPad OS. So there's 3 different operating systems, or 4 if you count Apple Watch. But there's iOS, iOS, iPad OS, and Mac OS. But I think they should have called it like OS Pad or like POS. I don't know. But yeah, so they're probably going to do like a folding phone like Samsung just did, and like Motorola's Razr that they just launched a little bit ago, a few months. So, I don't know, but I hope that they make it in durability terms much better than the Motorola Razr, and the Motorola Razr was the least durable folding phone, like fully glass or fully screen folding phone. It was the least durable of all of them, because it was the way that it folded, and the hinge was the screen sort of lifted up, dust could get in there and completely break your screen whenever you fold it, and it would just completely brick the device if any dust got in there, which there was a huge gap whenever you closed the phone. So if a tiny bit of dust got in there, then it's not going to end up too well for your phone. But I would say the folding phone to get right now is definitely the new Samsung folding phone, because it's the most durable and it's the best. So yeah, I think they're probably going to do a hamburger style like everyone's doing right now, but it's gonna look really weird, I bet. They're probably gonna have a 5G version too. So
Which do you want to bet they make the iPhone 20 series?
that would be copying, and they'd probably get sued a ton of money. Well, no. See,
It wouldn't be technically.
Samsung jumped from the 10 to the 20, so Apple jumping from the 11 to the 20 would be kind of weird. Because it's like Samsung went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900. And then they're probably going to get up to the Galaxy S1000. So, like, every time they get to, like, a big number, like 10 or 100, they're going to switch it up, and they're going to add a 0 to the end, sort of. So, like, they went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, and so on. Which is not a way to name a phone, like just stick with the numbers like Apple has been doing. Started 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, with each of them having an S variant, which is awful. So, yeah. But I don't know, they probably won't even release a folding phone, because they'll be like, that's not our style. Because, like, if you think about it, no MacBooks have ever had a touchscreen in history. Like, they have the touch bar, and they say that the touch bar is all you need, when you should have a touchscreen in a computer. Like, a lot of Windows computers have them. Don't you think that Apple should make a touchscreen MacBook?
I mean, they could, but they just refuse. They have only made touch bars.
Yeah, like, they're never going to make a touchscreen. Probably sometime their sales will decline so much because every computer will have a touchscreen. But I don't know. Anyways, moving on to the next topic I had planned. I texted you this link a little bit ago, Tyler. I don't know if you got it. But Intel has seemed to release their new processors, their 10th series. But
They
they
had those
never,
released for a while.
well, no, they just released like the full lineup because they had like the laptop processors, like a few of them lined up, but they just now released the full lineup, like desktop versions. So, and they didn't even have a like a meeting about it. Like, it's just crazy. Like, it's unannounced. Right. Let's see. Tech Spot, Intel. Actually, Tech Spot. It's probably on their main page. All right. Oh, what do you think about the NVIDIA this year coming out with the 30 series of graphics cards, like the 3080 Ti or whatever?
RTX, yeah, I heard about that like months ago.
Yeah, they're supposed to come out with it. There's no like leaks and specs at all. It's just the name. But I have no idea. Um,
Oh,
like
well,
they're probably gonna be way better than the 2080 Ti.
the 360 and 370 are having 11 gigs of VRAM, and the um, 380 Ti is going to have like 13.
Yeah, and I bet that they're probably gonna be insanely expensive for um like the lower
The
like the
2080
20
Ti is still gonna be an amazing consumer card.
like the I bet the 3060 is going to be
Like the most bought one.
like extremely expensive for that area. Like I bet then after they release that, AMD's probably going to make a competitive or a competing GPU in that spot with like the next generation level of performance. Like basically the RX 5600, how that was released like a few weeks ago, maybe about a month ago, I think. But they released that and it's blowing away the 2060 for the same price. So I think that like maybe next year, like about a year after the 30 series are released, it's gonna be like
Dude, the
I don't know.
AMD Threadripper 3990X CPU has the raw power on its own to run Crisis without a GPU.
The 64 core one.
Yes.
Yeah, the Threadripper 3990X Threadripper is insane.
But here's the real
It's
question about
huge.
everything. Can it run
It's it has 64 cores and 128 threads, which the most cores and threads that an Intel CPU has is 28 cores, and then 56 threads. So if AMD has um, 8 more cores than Intel has threads, then it's just insane, and it's less than half the price of that Intel CPU, which is insane. So you're getting a $4,000 CPU that has over twice the amount of cores and threads for less than half the price. That's just an insane deal. But anyways, talking about Intel's 10th gen lineup, so they've completely abandoned, or what it looks like here, they've just completely abandoned, and I don't really blame them for doing this, and I bet AMD is going to do it this year, but they've completely abandoned the i3. There's no longer a Core i3 in their lineup. It's the i5, the i7, and the i9. So they have the i5, which is the 10600 and the 10600K, and then the i7 is 10700 and 10700K, and then i9 is 10900, 10900K, obviously. But the Core i9 overclockable edition has the same base and boost clock as the um, previous i9, the 9900K. And it has a few more cores, not by many, like 2 more cores and 4 more threads. And if you think about it, AMD has way more core, and like the same price, they have, was it like 6 more cores, I think, and 12 more threads. I'm pretty sure. Oh, I don't know. I forget. Keep forgetting it every time I look at it. Processors, desktop, Ryzen processors. Yeah, 16 core, 32 thread is the 3950X for the same price that the 10900K is listed at. It also has a lower TDP, which means it won't run as hot, which means you could probably overclock it. Well, it wouldn't overclock as much as the i9, but whenever the i9 is overclocked, all Core i9s have been the hottest CPUs ever made, except for like the really old like AMD processors back in the day, like from the 90s. Those got like 200 Celsius and then started thermal throttling, but these are going to be extremely hot CPUs, all of them. So, and I think this year AMD is probably going to get 5 nanometer CPUs or something, and they're going to have um, like 3 to 4 times the performance. Do you think that?
What?
Do you think that the AMD processors this year will have like 4 times the performance of Intel?
No.
I feel like they will or something. Um, yeah. So I feel like we're gonna have this year with all manufacturers is um, well, what I thought for Intel was they're not going to be using the same LGA1151 socket because they still haven't gone 7 nanometer. Like they just now went 10 nanometer for this line of processors, but AMD's already at 7. That's how they can fit so many cores. But what I thought is they're still going to stick with 14 nanometer and just have a bigger chip, so they would abandon the LGA1151 and have a bigger CPU socket, which would mean that all companies had to make um, different coolers, bigger coolers, all different types. So, I don't know. I feel like AMD's either going to be like they had already designed something expecting Intel not to catch up this year. And they still haven't really caught up as much as AMD. They still have 6 less cores and 12 less threads than AMD, but I don't know. They made a huge performance jump over the last generation. But I feel like AMD is just still, or for this launch, it's going to be like the hype train that derailed, and it's not going to be great, but yeah. Alright. I'm going to cut this podcast to an end. Thanks, geniuses, for watching, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Bye-bye.